Hello and welcome to Something Different. Something Different is a series that I run that allows me to show off some things that aren't usually on the channel and that are sometimes a little bit different. Democracy 3 is not as far off as the last game that we played. This is much more in the channel's wheelhouse. However, on the things on the channel tend to be longer, like longer series. We tend to go 20-30 episodes, and this is probably going to only last one or two, which is why it's not usually on the channel and is why it's something I would like to show off. So, what is Democracy 3? Well, you get control of you get control of a country, and you get to make all the decisions about it. And you just basically have to make the country better, or worse, or however you like it. It's kind of a sandbox, but there are certain limitations in terms of different groups trying to oppose you, different groups having their own agendas, and it's a fun game. If you haven't heard of it, I definitely suggest you go and try it out yourself. But before you do that, let's go and start a new game. We're going to be playing as the UK, as it's probably the start I'm most familiar with, and we'll just go right into it. Let's have some better names. Let's go for the Liberal Democrats. We'll be the Liberal Democrats, and and the Conservatives can be the other side. Difficulty's probably, in real life, a little higher than 100. Everything else seems fine. Let's go with this. So, congratulations on your election victory. Welcome to your new job as Prime Minister. The lives of all 63 million citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible, while keeping an eye on the long-term improvement of our citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you can face re-election in 4 years, so you'll need to monitor the opinion polls and our party membership. Good luck. So, where do we start? We start with low GDP, which is going to get even lower because right at the start of the game we get a recession. It happens in every game. Health is fairly low, but it could be lower, so that's a positive, I guess. Education's pretty high. Unfortunately, so is unemployment and crime, and poverty is there, so we have a lot of work to do with the UK. Let's see what our problems are. So, in Democracy 3, you get this, which is a little bit confusing until you work out exactly what each thing is. So, as you may have guessed, red is bad. Red are bad things that are happening. So we have vigilante mobs, we have street gangs, we have alcohol abuse. We have a whole bunch of bad things going on in all the different sections. And if I hover over, you can see in the background of each section, it tells you what this is. So it's law and order, transport, foreign policy, welfare, economy, tax, and public services. So, we have a lot of problems. We also have a lot of blue ones. And blue ones are more... These aren't things you can change, but these are things that are happening. So, for instance, if we look at this one, alcohol consumption. This is something that is happening. It's something that we probably can't get rid of, but it is directly going into a problem. It's going into alcohol abuse. Alcohol abuse is the problem here, and we can see that there. If we go to poverty, poverty isn't a thing that we can just magically get rid of. However, if we have more poverty, then all these other things are going to change. We're going to get more racial tension, we're going to get more alcohol abuse, we're going to get more street gangs, we're going to get more homelessness. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going into that. And then the white options, these are policies that we currently have, and these are things that contribute towards the blue ones, which then affect the red ones. Or the policy itself can go directly into the red ones. So let's see if we can find one that might be suitable. So if we have something like bus lanes increase bus usage. If we go to bus usage lowers train usage and car usage. So we go to this train usage, and then it has a direct effect on other things. That increases oil demand. We go to oil demand. The higher the oil demand, the less energy efficient things are. And you can kind of go down that line and you can see exactly what you want to do there. So what are our big problems? Well, we have an £11 million deficit, we have a lot of debt, and we have a lot of problems. What do we think is our biggest problem? Well, probably money, and then probably health, and probably the violent crime is also a big deal. We really don't like that because everybody hates it. So we have a couple of people, we have all of these ones in the middle, and this is how people feel about us. This is how they directly feel about what's going on right now. So most people, they hate us. Our popularity is pretty low. These are people who, percentage of the entire electorate who want to vote for us. So that's pretty low. If we go to capitalists, They hate every single thing we are doing. They like none of it. They like it all equally as bad. But if we go to someone like retired, they really like us because we have state pensions, which obviously is something they care about. We have state health service, but they dislike the street gangs. So we need to work out, what does everybody hate? So let's go to everybody. Let's see what we've got. So everybody directly thinks the main problem is something they all hate is street gangs. Street gangs is something, let's try and get rid of that first. So if we go to street gangs here, we'll see we have a lot of different things leading into it. Now we can get a different view if we click on it. So over time this got much bigger, and then it's kind of sitting up here. And to get rid of it, we have to get it below this stop trigger. So it'll start at the red one, it'll stop at the green one. So you have to get it low. So to get something to stop, you need to get it to lower than whenever it starts. Like, to put it in more real world things, when you get to this point, there's some grumblings, but people aren't really, gangs aren't building up. When you hit this point, gangs are built up. And then when you get back down to this point, there's grumblings about the gangs, but the gangs are, like, if you get back down here, the grumblings are more, should we get rid of the gangs? It's like, we already have them. This is the status quo. So if we then get below the stop trigger, that's then where they're like, oh no, we don't want gangs anymore. So, what are the effects? Not effects, what are the causes? Main one, unemployment and poverty. Without those, actually gangs wouldn't be that big a deal. So let's try and get rid of unemployment and poverty. Realizing what a ridiculous sentence that is, but let's see. Unemployment. This is one of the main ones going into it. So I assume that poverty, if we look at it, it's affected by unemployment. So if we were to say get rid of some of the unemployment, it would also therefore get rid of some of the poverty because people being paid more, which would then get rid of the street gangs. However, we have no money. But we do have some political capital, and political capital is what you use to do different policies. This is what allows you to alter how things are right now. So, if we have a look, and you get more political power each term. So each time we click next, we get more political power. Now it's affected by our council, which if I check here, or cabinet. This is like, each one of these people, depending on how much they like us, will give us a set amount of political power each month. The more they like us, the more political power. The more in line with their views, the more political power, that sort of thing. The more experienced they are, more political power. You get the idea. And then the better we can do that, the more power we can get to change things. So, what is unemployment's main cause? Well, there's actually a whole bunch of causes. The fact that the GDP is awful is one of the main causes. What is causing the GDP to be awful? Well, if we go into that, we can see there's nothing in particular that's causing this. So, we got a little bit of crime is causing it, but I think the main problem is nothing is pushing it up. We do have a technological backwater, which is lowering our GDP, and an uncompetitive economy. Now, these things are these two ones here, these two red problems. What leads into these? Uncompetitive economy is affected by productivity. Small amount by corporation tax, but productivity. We're actually almost getting rid of our uncompetitive economy. I think that's because our corporation tax is increasing it, but our productivity is lowering it. So if we increase our productivity, our uncompetitive economy will go away, and this will mean that we'll get more GDP because it's no longer lowering it, and our capitalists will like us more. Okay, technological backwater. This is affected by our technology level. This is lowered by our technology, but increased by our creationism versus evolution thing. So what this is what people are taught. So currently it says both systems are taught. So that's where that is. Now, what goes into productivity? Because this is what went into uncompetitive economy. Productivity, health. Health is really one of the big ones. So if we increase health, that will then increase productivity, which will then increase get rid of our uncompetitive economy, which will then get rid of our unemployment problem through GDP, which will then get rid of our street gangs. Easy, right? And most of our productivity problems come from alcohol consumption. And I suspect that also affects health. So if we go down here into this one, which one of these is health? Health. Food price, education, private healthcare, health, right. Health is lowered by the doctor strike and alcohol abuse. This must have been updated more recently than I thought. Anyway, because I don't remember doctor strike being there last time. Okay, doctor strike. What's causing the doctor strike? Unemployment. Really? Okay, so we can't get rid of the doctor strike without changing unemployment. However, the stop trigger is really close, so if we just minorly affect it, doctor strike will go away. Alcohol consumption. What's causing this? What's causing alcohol abuse is our consumption of alcohol. Okay. If we increase community policing, we could maybe get rid of that slightly. That's something that we could do. And if we go back up to alcohol consumption here, what's causing it? Alcohol law. So if we change alcohol law, like to make it stricter, less people will use it. We change alcohol tax, less people will use it. That could also potentially help our GDP. So I say what we do is we tax alcohol just a little bit more. We make the laws a little bit more strict on that, and hopefully that'll get rid of the alcohol consumption, which will then get rid of the doctor strike through all of this loop. So what we're going to do is alcohol tax. Where's our alcohol? Where's the alcohol? What's it called? There it is. There's our alcohol law. So minimum age is currently 18. If we increase that, there'll be less consumption. If we just increase it a very tiny amount, that would cost us 13 of our 25 power. But the youth would be unhappy, but it would lower alcohol consumption significantly, and liberals would be a little bit unhappy. Cancel whatever we got there. Let's have a look. Liberals don't hate us a lot. Youth, where's youth? Youth don't hate us a lot, so we'd minorly lower our opinion of them in order to make everybody else happy. Seems reasonable. Alcohol tax. If we wanted to raise that, we do have enough political capital. We just raise it by a tiny amount, we get a couple more billion, and we get rid of alcohol consumption. The poor are less happy, however, and equality goes down. How do the poor feel? The poor currently feel they're kind of alright. And if we can get it so that we get less unemployment, the poor will be happier because there will be, or at least there will be less poor, so we won't care as much. Anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase alcohol tax just a little bit. So let's say up to 30% from 19%. It's a fairly big jump, but it gets us a lot more money, and we'll fix some of our other issues. Right, and if we're... Oh, when I went in there, I should also show it in here. When we go up like this, it says how long it's going to take to come into effect. So, it turns out every time we click next, that's a turn. So if we increase the maximum age, that is actually going to take 4 turns to come into effect. The youth, violent crime, and liberals will all instantly, just like that, hate us a little bit more. But the actual consumption of alcohol takes some time. Let's apply that. Now I want to go back to here just to see. So this is going to take 2 turns for alcohol consumption to go down from this law. But the poverty, the inequality, and the poor will all change instantly. So let's go and see what we've got. Let's just go click next. See exactly what effects things had. So in theory, this also gets us 4 billion. Now, if I check here, is that going to be instant? I can't tell. I assume that'll be... Oh, implementation delay 1. So that'll take 1 turn before we get our money. And on this one, same. So the moment we click next, we'll get the money. That will put it down to a 7 billion pound deficit, which is fairly bad, but is not as bad as it was. So let's click next. Okay, so we have a question, which is random events that happen. Our budget report. We are currently have a minor budget deficit of 4.82 billion. So this is interesting because this isn't quite this is a lot more down than it was previously. What's going on with that? Global economy went down, yet our income went up, and our expenditure went down. I see. Okay, so our expenditure went down a little bit due to what? Was the alcohol law costing us something to implement, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe our alcohol law was costing us money, and then that going down has decreased the amount of money it costs? I don't know. Anyway, that's that. If we go back up to our question mark here, we get a little bit more. It's stop and search. There are demands for police for the power to stop and search people on the street if they believe the individual may be guilty of a crime. Currently, our police cannot search someone without formally arresting them. So we could either introduce powers, which will be a valuable weapon in fighting against crime and should have a notable impact on violence and street crime. Or we can leave it unchanged. I think that we're going to leave it unchanged. The reason we're going to do that is because I don't think the police need more powers to do anything. I think that we need to, at a very, very basic level, get rid of some of this stuff. Because you can't revert these changes that you make. But I feel like at a fundamental level, we know what's wrong. At least with a lot of the crime situations we've got. So we can get rid of it ourselves. Okay. So, let's have a look at how some things are doing. How is our alcohol abuse coming in? Is that going down at all? It's started to dip, but not a lot because it hasn't really come into effect. How about alcohol consumption? Again, a slight dip, but nothing really has come into effect. Let's look at a different problem, because I feel like we've already looked at these we've looked at this main problem. We think alcohol is going to be a big factor. We want to just leave it, see how it feels. So, let's have a look at something else. Let's see one of the people who doesn't like us. So, how about capitalists? They don't like us. Why don't they like us? Because we got a lot of limiting things on them. Is there anything we could do to make capitalists like us? Let's have a look at our policy list and see what we can do with that. Oh, this is the quarterly report I wanted to look at, actually. So 5% of people are planning to vote for us, and the cabinet are described as loyal, and they are passable in their effectiveness. Okay. So I think it's implement new policies is here. So this is a bunch of policies that we can implement that can do different things. So let's see if they've got a cheap one that will help capitalists. How about economy? Anything we could do here? Small business grants, maybe? That might make capitalists like us a little bit more. It would potentially cost us a lot of money, but it may also stimulate some growth. That could be good. Anything else we're wanting here? Business startup campaign costs us a lot less, may make capitalists like us, and doesn't really do too much else. That could be interesting. Don't see anything else that's jumping out at me here. Maybe a young entrepreneur scheme. It's very, very cheap, but what it'll do is it'll increase happiness among capitalists as they see their future secured. No, let's get a young entrepreneur scheme. So capitalists and youth will like it, but it will lower the people who are socialist a little bit more. We're going to invest a lot into this because it'll make capitalists happy. It costs us quite a lot of political power. Oh, actually, it costs a bit of political power to implement. It's not going to take 2 days to implement. It'll make them a little bit happier. Let's see anything else. Parents. What do parents care about? Well, they really don't like asthma. Let's have a look at this. What's causing this? Car usage. And it affects productivity as well. And the environment being bad is affecting it. So, what is causing the environment to be bad? Car usage and air travel, and the GDP being lower. And I guess that GDP being lower is less people are spending the time to recycle and things like that. It's just a general kind of there's less money to do things. It's also affecting our tourism, which will affect our GDP as well. So, we could try increasing recycling, something like that. That would definitely help the environment. We could try increasing clean energy subsidies or pollution controls. That's an option. You could also try getting rid of car and air travel. So what causes our air travel? High earnings, poor earnings. Both high and poor earnings and middle earnings all go into that. Oh, middle earnings lower it. That's kind of weird. Anyway. What else have we got? International trade increases it. So if we were to somehow lower international trade, that would definitely get rid of it. So if we were to make foreign relations worse, that would get rid of it. Doesn't sound like the best possible solution we could ever come up with, but it would work. Maybe, what affects car usage? So train usage lowers car usage, as does the petrol tax. If we were to make petrol just a tiny bit more expensive, this would have a big effect on car usage, which would then have an effect on the environment. So, it would annoy motorists a little bit, but I think this is alright. I think we're going to slightly... Oh, we can't increase it, we don't have enough political power. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait 1 month, then we're going to do that. So, we have a new situation, a general strike. GDP has lowered again, but nothing else has changed. So what is general strike? Widespread dissatisfaction with the government has led to trade unions calling a general strike. Okay. This is mainly due to poor earnings, poverty, trade unionists, socialists, and unemployment is lowering it, apparently. So we'll get rid of that. We have a budget report we could have a look at, but we've just increased the deficit. That's not good. Approval rate is disappointing. We would get 6% of the vote. So we got an extra percent of the vote. That's not too bad. Right, our question. Ban same-sex marriage. Until recently, this hasn't been an issue. Marriage has been a straightforward issue and a ceremony reserved for heterosexual couples. But increasingly, the more liberal members have been carrying out same-sex marriages. Should we ban this at a constitutional level? I think we'll allow it for just now. I don't think there's any problems with that from a base level. It doesn't seem to affect any of our issues, so if it makes people happier, then who are we to do anything about it? I think crime has actually dropped a tiny bit. Not a lot, but a tiny bit. And we got a security briefing. So, this is members of the public are now in groups that are pretty benign. They're just like, we dislike you. We dislike your policies, and we like to change things. However, if they really dislike you, they can become extremists, and they can basically come and try and kill you. So, good idea not to make someone in particular dislike you an awful lot. We seem fine right now, but we'll see. Okay, let's have a look at our alcohol abuse problem. It is dropping drastically. See, after one actual implementation day, tick, this has gone so far down. Another one is going to go down again. If it keeps going down, that's problem is almost solved. Let's have a look at alcohol consumption. Same kind of deal. We are going to get less from our tax because less people are drinking alcohol, but overall it'll be good. Let's have a look at our street gangs as well. This isn't changing. Even though we had a lot of problems with it, it isn't really changing. That's the one people were annoyed about, right? Yeah, street gangs. So what could we do to get rid of street gangs a little bit more? We could maybe try and get some more policing. Community policing would actually help with our alcohol abuse problem as well, because that gets rid of it. So if we increase community policing, everyone will be happier. Except for, liberals will be happier. There'll be less racial tensions, less crime, less violent crime, less street gangs. This is great. This is fantastic. We're going to raise it. Nobody cares if we raise it. It does cost us an extra billion, but it is far worth it. Very, very, very worth it. So we'll get all of that. Apply those changes. Right. And it cost us nothing. Let's do the petrol tax right now. It is going to cause us some problems because people aren't going to like us for it. However, I think that raising this just a little bit will solve a lot of our issues. So if we raise it up to, say, 30%, car usage will go... Actually, let's go a little bit further. Let's go to 40%. Car usage will go down a lot. Environmentalists will be happy. Motorists will be a tiny bit unhappy. And their income and their membership for motorists will go down. Let's do that. Cost us a lot, but I think it's worth it. And we'll go on to the next one. Liberals, they're going up. Conservatives are going down with us. Next. Okay, we have a couple of random events. Unemployment has gone up, but crime has gone down. This is a good start. Priceless art theft. A gang of expert thieves have stolen one of the most famous paintings from the National Portrait Gallery. The media are drawing attention to the inability of our police force to solve crimes such as this. Maybe this is a sign that we should spend more money on law enforcement and crime prevention. The conservative media are especially outraged, so conservatives like us less. Our credit rating was downgraded. Capitalists dislike it. It affects our GDP. However, this may be effect of the overall global situation with the economy. We got an extra percentage in our polls and our security briefing, and there are a few more people joining these groups, but they're not getting very large. Alright. So, let's look at alcohol abuse. It's dropped, but it is not continuing to drop very much. However, our community policing thing is yet to come into effect, and that may affect it more. So we could do that. If we also increase the size of our police force, this could affect our unemployment and poverty, if we wanted to go down that route. So if we were to, say, do that, that would then mean create more jobs, so there'd be less problems with those groups, because there'd be more jobs available for everyone. Let's see what else we could do. Anything we could get rid of other types of crime as well. Like maybe vigilante mobs. This is mainly caused by crime. What's the main effect of crime? Just kind of generally everything. So if we got rid of something like organized crime or ghetto, well, street gangs lead to ghettos. If we get rid of organized crime, this will lower a lot of the stuff going into crime right now. What causes organized crime? Well, intelligence services make it go down, but if we have a look here, the narcotics law allows it to happen. So the reason why narcotics law allows it to happen is because narcotics are currently outlawed. However, if we were to just legalize some of it, organized crime would go down by a lot because, well, there'd be no reason to have organized crime. So if we have a look at this here, just drop it a little bit and it disappears. So what we're going to do is we're going to legalize just a little bit. We're going to legalize up to LSD. Liberals, parents are going to be less happy. Crime, liberals, and legal drug consumption will all go up. However, organized crime will go down. I think this is alright. So we're going to do that. But we're also going to do something else, and we may have to wait till next turn to do it. But the plan would be that we would then tax these things. So we would do a recreational drugs tax. This would then lower the usage of it, however organized crime wouldn't be around because there'd still be a way to get access to it. So we'll just go next again. Doctor strike. The situation is now at an end. I told you if we just did what we were doing there, Doctor strike would go away. So Doctor strike's at an end. Fantastic. No negative effects from that anymore. Crime has gone up, but health has also gone up, and poverty has gone up, which is bad. Debt protection law. So, debt collection agencies have been in the news because of aggressive methods they're using to extract payment from people who owe large sums of money. These debt collection agencies provide credit to people whom larger, more respectable companies will not lend money. A law is proposed to limit the ways in which such agencies can operate. So we can either accept it, and this means that the agencies can go and they can try and get as much money as they can, and that's the way they just operate, or we can limit it. I think we're going to limit, and the reason we're going to limit is because this affects the poorest people in our society, as it's saying. So if we limit it, the poorer people will be happy, and therefore they won't come and kill us. I know it's kind of a selfish one, but I think it's going to work. Got another 1% in the polls, and a security briefing. Most of these are going down. Most of the groups are not having lots of more people joining them, which is generally good. Everyone's a little bit happier, but we still have some people who are quite unhappy. Alcohol consumption, still going down, but community policing hasn't yet come into full effect, so we'll wait and see how that affects it. Which one's next? Asthma? Asthma is dropping. Dropping a little bit because car usage has gone down, which is nice. We can maybe get that just under the limit. Organized crime starting to drop, not dropping a lot. We were going to tax drugs, so let's go do that. Recreational drugs tax, where are you? There we go. Estimate to make some amount of money. Let's implement it, and we're going to implement as much tax as we can. Lowers legal drug consumption, poor and youth are unhappy, but poverty goes up. I think this is something that, although it's unpopular, has to go along with our drugs. Right, police force. Do we want to increase the size of it? There it is, police force. If we increase the size of it, it changes so much, which is the problem. We could raise it. It would cost us a lot of money, but a lot of people would be happy. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I think that ideally we don't want to have a police force keeping everyone down. We want to have everybody not wanting to rise up. So, let's see what else we can do about this. Do we still have the general strike going on? We do. What's causing this? Well, it's just poor earnings. Can we do anything to increase poor earnings? Wages are really low. What's causing wages to be low? Unemployment and a little bit of immigration. If we were to stop some immigration, if we were to increase border controls, that may increase wages. But actually, ghettos is a main problem. Is something that's lowering immigration. Interesting. That might become a bigger problem in the future. Okay. Let's see what else we just need to try and get rid of unemployment. Maybe we want to start an initiative. We do have a large deficit, however. But maybe we want to start an initiative where we try and get a few more jobs created, like a public service. Anything here jumping out at us? I don't see a lot. Maybe actually compulsory school sports for the asthma thing, but let's not look at that just yet. I don't see anything that's jumping out at me like we need to really go for that. Law and order. Oh, a needle exchange program could actually be good as well. But we'll think about that later if that becomes a problem. We could try and build a national monorail system. That would definitely allow a lot of people to work. Wait, or we give bus subsidies or something like that. Carpooling, I don't know, we'll see. Something like that could work. Welfare, an alcohol awareness campaign. We don't really need it, but we could do that. Economy, anything else we might want to do? I don't know. Anything we want to do in here? Not really. Tax? I don't know, maybe we could tax something, but I don't see a great one. Foreign policy? No. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to save our points and we're going to wait another one. See what our current effects have. Okay, poverty has gone up. Alright. We did get a little bit more in the polls result. And curb banking bonuses. There have been calls in the media for the government to do something about big bonuses payments being made to CEOs despite falling profits. In cases where companies fail to make a profit, the government has been asked to force companies to withhold bonus payments from top executives. We have to do nothing. And the reason that we have to do nothing here, I think, is because capitalists dislike us. If we do this, it is a very small thing towards the capitalists, but it will increase their opinion of us. So we'll do nothing. Right, security briefing. Seems alright. Okay, back to this. Alcohol consumption. Dropping, not dropping quick enough for me to be happy, but still dropping. Organized crime. Dropping. That's very good. Street gangs. Raising is going up. Okay, we need to drastically stop that. It's costing us a lot of money. Vigilante mobs. They're going up. We may just have to go with police force. I think actually what we need to do is just very, very briefly just beef up the police force. Just try and get rid of crime, violent crime. It's going to make conservatives happy. It gives us a lot more state employees. It gives us more members. That'll get rid of some of the unemployment. It'll get rid of some, it'll change some of the incomes. It'll get rid of some street gangs, get rid of some alcohol abuse, and get rid of a lot of the vigilante mobs. So we want a giant police force. We're going to raise this. We're going to accept it. Okay, that's a problem that we are having to deal with drastically. Okay, anything else leading to any other problems? This is the one we haven't looked at yet. Homelessness, caused by unemployment, but it's decreased by unemployment benefit. If we were to increase that, there'd be less homelessness. But I don't think it's something we need to go directly into here. Now, rail usage decreases unemployment. If we were to somehow increase rail usage, that would mean that there'd be less unemployment. It would also potentially increase poor earnings and middle earnings. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this. It'll also make motorists less happy, but increase the number of increase commuters' happiness. So we're going to do that. It's going to cost us a lot of money. We're spending a lot to make a lot, basically, here. We're getting rid of our problems so that we can kind of reset. So let's go into next. Alright, a drug addiction thing has happened. That's a problem, but we knew it was kind of going to happen. Superhero. Crime and violent crime has dropped as news stations are buzzing with reports of a Cape Man fighting crime in our cities. Oh, fantastic. That's actually great for us. Drug addiction, not so great for us. However, we are affecting it with the police force. Maybe we can change it with the state health service, but the main problem is the fact that we now have drugs. Okay. 11% of the polls. We lost some, and the security briefing, they're all going down. That's good. So at least people don't want to kill us. Okay, middle income actually I think like us a little bit more than they used to, but I could be imagining things. Parents dislike us because we have drugs. Okay, so alcohol consumption. Alcohol abuse is still going down. It's just straight going down. It's just going to take a long time to actually implement. Violent, organized crime, dropping. Violent, let's have a look. Street gangs, they are going to start dropping, but not a lot yet. Vigilante mobs, they are drastically dropping. Okay. And our ghettos, oh, they're still there. Okay. Let's try and get some intelligence service here. And hear me out, the reason we want to do that is we want to get rid of organized crime a lot. It's costing us some money, but we want to get rid of it. But maybe also CCTV might be an option, get rid of the street gangs. It's already every street corner. If we made it a little bit more, it's actually not going to affect too much. Okay. How about intelligence service? If we increase it, does that affect... It really affects organized crime and crime as a whole. Let's keep spending. Let's keep spending. And let's raise some taxes to kind of justify some of this. We could raise the petrol tax again. Definitely an option. If we raise it to about 50%, that would actually do alright. Although we can't raise taxes without a lot of political income. Which do we have? 29. Maybe we could raise a different tax. Recreational drugs tax is already as high as it can go. Tobacco tax? That could do something good there. Alcohol tax we could raise again. A general income tax would definitely be an option. Inheritance tax? I think maybe inheritance tax is the way to go. It only gives us a couple billion though. We don't want to do that. I don't think it's going to give us enough. Corporation tax would affect the capitalists, but really don't want to get on their bad side just now. Property tax could be an option. It doesn't affect as many as it could, but it does increase homelessness, actually, the property tax. Capital gains tax? Possibly as well. Decreases high earnings. Increases equality. I don't know. Let's see if there's a new tax we want. We could have an airline tax. It gets a lot of money. Internet tax? Maybe not. Punitive tax on superstores? Possibly. Is there anything that... I'm trying not to affect certain groups, but it doesn't seem way. Junk food tax is unpopular, but could be reasonably useful. Plastic bag tax is reasonably popular. Gets us a little bit of money. I don't know. Nothing here is going to get us a lot. Maybe mansion tax would be a good idea. I think mansion tax. Let's do that. Wealthy are going to be really unhappy, but... Oh, wow. If we just keep going... Look at this. The maximum just flies off. So about here is the max we can put in without retired people being really unhappy about this. So it can potentially get us 14 billion. Seems very worth it. Right, next. Credit rating downgraded. Kind of saw that coming with where the money was going. We went up in the polls. However, nothing else has changed. Okay. Let's have a look at organized crime. Dropping is about to end. We're about to get rid of organized crime, which will get rid of a little bit of our crime and violent crime in general. Crime is about to drop a lot. Vigilante mobs dropping drastically. That's fantastic. Alcohol consumption dropping almost next to the stop trigger. Ghettos still there. Street gangs dropping, but we'll probably drop a lot more once we can get rid of some other stuff. Right. How's our asthma looking? It's dropping. It's not dropping a lot, but it's dropping, which is good. Drug addiction is not going higher, which is alright. Technological backwater staying exactly where it is. Uncompetitive economy kind of staying where it is. General strike almost ended, but it's now just kind of staying where it is. Costing us a lot. Homelessness has gone up. Okay. We kind of want to try and end this as well, but technological backwater we could drop with just a little bit more science funding. I think if we were to just slightly increase science funding, it would lower our technological backwater by a lot. However, we still don't have the cash to actually fulfill these dreams. I think we may need to implement more, but the mansion tax still isn't in yet, so we'll wait. I think we'll keep our political power. Whistleblower. So crime is dropping. This is now going to start dropping drastically. Whistleblower. A Secret Service contractor has leaked several documents that shed a light on the dark side of the war on terror. Should we prosecute her, or do everything we can to bring her to justice, or should we reform the Secret Service and stop making use of malpractice she accuses us of? Prosecute. Even if the accusations we're facing are true, we have to protect national interests. Reform Secret Service. We have to abstain from methods in the future and thank her for demonstrating civil courage still exists. I don't know which one we want to do here. think we want to prosecute. I think people are going to be unhappy, but I think we want to do that because we want to increase our we want to increase our police service, basically. Okay, poll reports. We've got 18% of people in this selection voting for us. That's all right, but 0 people in our party. Not good. Let's have a look at this. Our party, 0 people in both parties, right? No, the Conservatives have some people on their party. That's not good. We need to get some people to our side, but we can see what we can do about that. Okay, so, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? There's so many options. Deficit is going to keep going up. Let's have a look at this. What's causing it? Global economy is going to start ticking up again. This seems good. Our income is starting to stay steady. Our expenditure is going up slightly, however. Our debt is also going up, which is causing our expenditure to go up. Okay. It's because interest rates are high. If interest rates get lower, we could solve that. Okay. I'm not sure what to do there. What's our main expenditure? It's state pensions. If we were to get rid of some of the state pensions, I mean, retired people like us a lot. We just got rid of a little bit of state pensions. That would fix a lot of our problems. We just lowered this slightly. Yeah, okay. Means more people take private pensions, but we go down like this. We half the amount of money we're spending on it, but it also would help us quite a lot, right? Yeah, in terms of our money side, it would help us. 2 days implementation, let's half it. There we go, we'll apply the changes. I can't see how anyone would be unhappy with this decision. How's our violent stuff looking? Vigilante mobs, ending next one. Organized crime will end on the next tick as well. Okay. Alcohol abuse, still going down. Street gangs, dropping. Perfect. We're going to get rid of a lot. People are going to like us. Asthma, lowering but not gone. Okay. Technological backwater staying where it is. Uncompetitive economy going up. General strikes going up. And homelessness is up. Okay. Let's see how we do. We're just going to let it go. Message from Tommy Morgan, one of our cabinet ministers. He is unpleased with the current government direction as his core supporters are religious people and capitalists. We may need to replace them. We got another superhero. Fantastic, lowers crime even more. Crime has dropped. Like it was up here, it's gone. Poverty's gone up a little bit, but that's fine. Organized crime, gone. We got 20% in the polls, 0 people on our side. There is a shadowy organization though, the Battenberg group. Now I believe that this is the capitalist assassination group. However, we have good intelligence services and we have some CCTV cameras, so we have some defense. Right. So conservatives are starting to like us more. Crime, vigilante mobs should be got. Like, look at vigilante mobs right now. Look at that. That is fantastic. They're just going to stop existing entirely. Street gangs, they're still there. Alcohol consumption has stopped going down. Oh. But that's probably because poverty has gone up. Yeah. Yeah, it's because poverty's unemployment has gone up. Okay. Asthma? Almost down. Our deficit is not as bad though. We are actually saving some money. Okay. Let's try and have a look at our money now. So state health service is now much higher than pensions. If we were to lower that, that would help a lot. It would possibly cause some more asthma problems, but we could do that. Military spending is also a large percentage. Let's try and get rid of some of our state health service. So, it's lowering our drug addiction. It's lowering is lowering unemployment though. We could increase our state health service, which would lower drug addiction, lower unemployment, lower capitalists, and lower wealthy's opinion of us. But we don't want capitalists to kill us, so we're going to leave that as it is. Military spending, we could increase that. Patriotism would go up, state employees would go up, unemployment would go down by quite a lot. State employee income would go... what's this? Trying to to figure out. So if we lower this, it would go down. So I guess it would go up by a little bit. And liberals would become unhappy, I guess. They become relatively unhappy. How much does this cost? It costs us a lot, but I think it's worth it. It's going to cost us, it's got a large implementation delay, however. I think it's worth it. Let's do it. Right. We're hoping. Next. See what we get. Capitalist plot. There's there's potentially serious plot by a number of wealthy industrialists to force the overthrow of the government. Oh dear. Vigilante mobs is at an end. We've got another message from another one of our ministers of parents and patriots, as he doesn't like us. He will actually like us in the future. Our polls are going up. No members of our party. Okay. Freedom of information. We can reject the proposal, or we can propose the Freedom Act. So make harder for the intelligence services to keep a watch on serious criminals and terrorists. Or, if we propose it, then the average law-abiding citizen should not be spied on or monitored by multinational corporations. We're gonna reject the proposal, because we don't want to be assassinated. It's awful, but that's what we're gonna do. Unemployment went down! Fantastic! Great! Continue. Unemployment went down. Our deficit has actually not gone up as much as it could, and with unemployment going down, it should start changing our alcohol again. Yup. Yeah, it's going to help a whole bunch of things. Street gangs is dropping because unemployment is dropping. Ghettos are dropping. Uncompetitive economy is not really doing anything. General strike is going up. But because unemployment is going to go down, that's going to help. And technological backwater is causing problems. And homelessness is a big problem as well. Okay. I say we shuffle our council this time and then see what else we can do. So we can shuffle. This gets rid of some of the one people and we can get some new ones in. So, foreign policy. Let's hire someone. We're looking for people who like foreign policy and who like our stuff. So, likes foreign policy, likes farmers, environmentalists. You're hired. Welfare. You like welfare, you like farmers and parents. You're hired. Economy. We're looking for economy here. Trade unionists and socialists. Sure, you can be hired. Tax. Tax. We're looking for anyone above 4.8. Religious capitalists. You don't like tax, however. Tax. Conservatives and farmers. You'll do. Okay. Public service minister. Public services. You're a 3. Public services. You're here. You're liberal capitalist. You know what you'll do? You're 4.8. Law and order minister. We're gonna go with somebody who's a little bit higher up. Law and order. We don't have a lot of good options for law and order. We may have to just stick someone else in, but we're gonna do transport next. So we'll just do transport before we do law and order. Transport. You like transport? You're hired, and then law and order, we'll just put in somebody who's good at it, may not like it, but he doesn't like law and order, but he will definitely do fine. There we go. We got a lot more political power each month. It costs us some to shuffle though, so we have to just move on. Failed assassination attempt. Someone tried to kill us. Oh no. Credit rating was downgraded again. Polls have gone down. Crime has gone up. Unemployment has gone up. What happened? No. We were doing so well. Alcohol abuse went back up again. Oh no. What caused this? I guess maybe unemployment went back up? It's because alcohol consumption went up. It didn't go up by that much though. I don't know. Street gangs went back up as well. Ghettos went down slightly. Okay. Maybe we want to bring in something specifically to get rid of one of these. Not sure what we could do. Oh, it looks like general strike's going down. Let's see what kind of policies we could implement in short term. Maybe some law and order stuff. Needle exchange program, maybe. A lot of popularity. Not sure where we want to go here. Legalized prostitution? It's an option. I don't think that's necessarily going to fix it unless we're just hoping people will be distracted. Death penalty for all offenses would definitely help. We're gonna wait till the next tick. I think we've got a little bit of time before the next election. It's 5 turns. We'll take our points and we'll move on. There is a capitalist plot against us. Local blockbuster. Tourism, GDP, and foreign relations all went up. Fantastic. Unemployment went down, crime went up. People might vote for us, and we have some members of the Liberal Democrats. There's some. There's not a lot, but there's some. And that's a start. We have some people who are on our side. So, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to make ourselves popular? Well, street gangs are not making us popular at all. They're costing us money. We have a lot of deficit. We are not doing well on that. Our military spending is going to keep going up, however. It will make people like us more eventually. But is it going to be quick enough? Probably not. Okay, we can implement something crazy now. We have enough points. What we're going to go for? Maybe something. Maybe just, I don't know. See what kind of things we could do. Tax? We could tax something. I don't think people would like taxes though. I'm not entirely sure where we want to go here. Doesn't appear to be a great number of options for us. We go toll roads or something, try and get rid of more cars. Still doesn't help us a lot. Law and order. We could just go really hard on trying to get people to really not commit crimes. You know what? We only have a couple months left in. Let's see if we can do something. Most people are happy with, 45% of people are happy with this. Let's get some death penalty going on here. Obviously, for homicide, we could just increase it. How about for all crimes? You commit a crime, you get the death penalty. Hopefully, that will lower crime a little bit. Let's see how that goes. Next. People might not be happy about that. Capitalist plot. Need to appoint a senior judge. We have 2 options. We have a strong supporter of human rights, or we have a household name thanks to many rulings concerning violent crimes and often outspoken views on harsh sentences. He feels should be applied to thieves, smugglers, and shoplifters. You know what, Connie Parker? You're on our side. You're going to stop some of these crime people. We have a lot more members in our party. We're pushing up. Okay. Let's have a look at our crime stuff here. Death penalty should start reducing crime. Now, if we look at crime here, violent crime, it's at an all-time low. It cannot get lower. Alright. We have a lot of points to spend. Maybe we want to just do something like increase some kind of make some building projects or something. Like if we were to do something like increase road building, this would increase car usage but lower unemployment slightly. We don't really want to increase car usage though. What if we were to... I have no idea. If we were to increase unemployment benefit, this would make quite a lot more people happy. However, we can't really do anything there. How about we just do a really hard car tax, try and get a lot more money that way and get rid of some more motorists. Let's see if we can get rid of as many motorists as possible right now. I know I'm kind of jumping around a bit, but I am trying to just get us so we can actually get elected. I don't think we're going to though. Not assassinated is my first concern. Crime has dropped. Bail out a company. The final cost is estimated at £60 million. Alright. Alright. We can help and it will make the local economy, it could help the local economy, or we can say it's going down because it wasn't profitable. There's short-term unemployment, but you can't fight the free market. We don't want short-term. We want everything to be short-term. That's perfect. 22% of people would vote for us. It's going up. Patriotism is at an all-time high. the death penalty, the handgun laws, the intelligence services, the military spending. We might get through on patriotism. Okay. Alcohol abuse is all over the place. We've lost on that one. Street gangs, we've lost. General strike, lost. It's all going bad. Asthma, not great. Not great. The car tax will probably help though. Drug addiction still around. Yeah. This ain't great. I don't know where we want to go now. Maybe something like, what's it everybody hate? Tobacco tax? We could just get rid of it. It costs us a lot of money, but it might get us re-elected. Don't think that's where we want to go. Anything new we want? Or do we just want to hope that our current stuff is fine? We could go really, really tough on the patriotism. Which we might do. Okay. Political, military, religious oath. That's not quite what I'm thinking about. National anthem in schools, though. Sounds fantastic. It only takes 1 quarter to implement. Obviously, at all ages of schools, we should be having this. More patriots. Youth hate us. That's fine. Let's keep going. Stress epidemic. Doctors have warned that our businesses are working people too hard, which is leading to dangerously high levels of stress for people with full-time jobs. Oh no. Someone tried to kill us again. Oh no. Credit rating was downgraded. 29% of people are voting for us. It's going up. It's going up. It's not as much as the Conservatives, but it is going up. Okay, so what do we want to do? How are strikes looking? Not great. Not great at all. None of this is looking good. Street gangs aren't even going down. Alcohol abuse isn't going down. Is homelessness at least going down? I mean, we are spending a lot of money trying to get rid of that. It doesn't appear to. I think we might want to just go super hard on the petrol. Let's try something crazy. Let's go really high on petrol tax, try and get as much money as we can, and get rid of motorists. Maybe that'll help us. Nope, we have an election. I should have realized that before raising taxes. Okay, well, this is the end. This was a train wreck. This was awful. We're doing really badly. Let's have a look at what we got. I suspect we're going to lose in a landslide. I'm thinking 97% for the opposition. Although according to polls, maybe like 70, so maybe 50 for them and 20 for us, and then 30 non-voters. Oh no. No. It was worse than I could have possibly imagined. Oh no. So we got 41% of our party join up. We got 4% in the election. 4. The opposition, they got 74%. They just wiped the floor with us. Non-voters, 22%. We got rid of so much crime though, I think we left Britain in a better place. Let's have a look at here. At the breakdown, who voted for us? The poor voted for us a little bit more than everyone else. Apart from the poor, no one else. Environmentalists, religious, patriots a little bit. Motorists didn't vote. 0% of the vote voted for us. Capitalists, 0. I feel we made some awful, awful options. However, just to point out this, health. Everybody was healthier. There was less crime. There was less violent crime. There was more quality. There was better environment. CO2 emissions went down. Foreign relations went up. Per earnings went up. Tobacco usage went down. Tourism went down. Went up. There was less traffic congestion. There was less alcohol consumption. Food price went down. Industrial automation went up. The average temperature went up. Here's one. Average temperature went up. That's good for Britain, right? Middle earnings went down a little bit. High earnings and GDP. Poverty slightly increased. People were slightly less well educated, but overall, I think that we set out to do something. We set out to reduce some crime and some health problems, and we set out to make Britain better than it was before. And there it is. And we're going to retire to obscurity. Let's do that. Right. Thank you for watching something different. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a different kind of episode. It was a little bit longer. Just trying out some different formats, seeing what people are more engaged with, seeing what people like a little bit better. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments below. If you like the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, leave anything. Just try and let me know how you feel, and we can do more of this, we can do less of this. We'll see based on comments. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.